G'day everyone, welcome to the Outside Man podcast. Hey! This is the NRL, the best ever NRL podcast you'll ever probably watch today.
Best ever.
Yes. Best ever. We talk about NRL, Rugby League, armchair experts, and this is that show.
Fair dinkum.
And on the desk, if you're new today, thanks for joining us. Yeah. Hopefully we'll earn your subscription today or your follow on Spotify. We've got Cal down the end there. He's the stats man.
Hello. Yep.
We've got Jase here. He's the Sharks guy. Jed, to my right.
Jed.
I'm a rooster.
He's
You're wearing a Sharks jersey at Suncorp.
We did not authorise that.
Jed is the traitor of the group. No, not a traitor.
Swapsies.
Jed brings the controversies and the fire. He gets fired up.
Just hates the Broncos.
And my name's Matt, and like I said, welcome to the podcast.
Welcome.
And we talk rugby league, and the biggest rugby league game of the year so far, Origin 2, Jase.
Oh, how good.
So those following along at home, Cal, Jed and myself are all Maroon supporters, and Jase is the lonely Blue supporter.
Yep, go the Blues! Well,
what do you reckon, Jase? How do you feel?
It had to go that way, didn't it? There had to be a game 3. They had to make their money. It had to be a script, didn't
it?
It
was in the script.
Yeah.
Well, there was like a 8-0 penalty count in the first half, and then 9-0 penalty count 45 minutes or something.
Yeah.
To clarify, game 2 last year, the Blues had a 7-0 penalty count in the first half, and game 1, the penalty count and ruck infringement count was 13-8 to the Blues. Game 2, it was 12-8 to the Maroons. So these Blues who have not stopped whinging for the last 6 days. Goodness me, at least after game 1 we sort of copped it on the chin. Yeah, well, we were just
You
terrible.
did not just cop it on the chin.
Who didn't? We sat here.
You kept saying...
What?
You were saying, in the first half we didn't get any calls.
Go back and watch the podcast. You will see me saying we got dominated by the team.
I don't know about the podcast. I'm saying in real life.
As per script, we sat here and we said, they were just far too dominant. And the salty tears coming from these Blues fans. Oh my God, just cop it on the chin. You won the penalty count in game 1. We won it in game 2. Let's look at some stats, okay? Let's look at some stats. Possession, 55% to the Blues. Completion rate, 70% to the Blues compared to 66%. And here's the kicker, right? You had every chance to win that game at the end, but you couldn't because your kicker couldn't kick goals. Queensland iced the moment, and here's the thing, this is what I heard from in the post-game from a lot of people going, they were lying all over the ruck. Well, guess what? The play the ball speed was 3.63. I saw it on a couple of statuses because I went out there and did my fair share of Facebook posting. Not posting, but just looking at comments. The average play the ball speed, 3.63 seconds to the Maroons and 3.69 seconds to the Blues. So they... 0.06 of a second is what they're winning about.
That's fine, and the Blues should have won the game, no doubt. And I'm not saying the refs cost us the game, because we very well could have won.
It sounds
we were better team. And regardless of all of that, there was a blatant one-siding reffing in the first half.
Blatant, really?
There was quite
absolute, 8-0.
Yes, but every single one of those 8 penalties...
No, I'm not saying that we didn't deserve the penalties. I'm saying nil.
No team could have been perfect in the first 40.
I'm not saying no team. I'm saying 8-0 is...
So how is it?
Yeah, I probably saw about 3 or 4 times when penalties should have been given to...
There's many pages that have gone through.
In what way?
Because
of what, Jed?
There was definitely offsides. There was definitely...
I saw 2 offsides.
So the penalty count ended up 12-8, including ruck infringements, right? That's 4 the difference. It was 5 the difference to the Blues, right, in the game 1. You're going to have games where things will look more lopsided to one team than another. I reckon out of those 8 penalties, 2 of them were 50-50, and your own Matty Johns came out and said... There is no one else to blame but our poor, ill discipline. Matthew Johns, a die-hard Blues fan, came out and said, there's nothing to talk about with the ref. We were so poor and ill-disciplined. End of story. You're right. I think that there was probably a couple of offsides or 6 against that could have been given.
Yes.
But at the same time, what do you do? The ref's not a robot. He's going to make mistakes. So I think
Like Luai had a shocker.
Exactly, and
Well,
some of
yeah,
the dumb,
sure,
like the old
Yeah,
lady
yeah.
in the face, even the eye gouge,
like-
which ended up not being an eye gouge, but still, like the attention to the face,
Yeah, like you got to look at those things as well. I think.
the ill discipline is what cost
like-
you that game effectively at the end of the day.
Goal kicking costs.
Goal kicking cost you the game as well.
And my question is still out with Nathan Cleary as an Origin player.
They did make
Leave-
comment that he looked like he
Cleary
was a bit
alone.
hindered.
He's done his
Yeah.
groin.
Yeah.
He'll be right.
Yeah, so you're saying that you're not happy with Ashley
I-
Klein getting game 3?
Well, who knows what's going to happen now?
He's got it.
But
He has got it.
Yeah.
He's been announced.
But there's
Yeah,
no
so-
doubt that I reckon that.
there was no doubt. There's no doubt that he went out looking for penalties to penalise the Blues.
Do you think that it was in the script?
They
that
were legit.
Queensland had to win the second
I-
game.
They definitely did. You got to follow the
Yeah.
money.
Well,
Follow the money. I've been saying that for years.
They want it to happen.
Well, you look at as soon as game 2 ended, game 3 now is basically a sellout. So that means more money for the NRL.
Yeah. He evened it up. Fair enough.
Yeah.
But-
But I also think that, like, I get frustrated with, like, the penalty count doesn't have to be even, like 12 all.
It's never going to be.
You know, like.
I think it's worse when they try and make it even.
Yeah.
Like if, let's say Queensland was decent in that first half and they still blew out. It would be worse if he came out in the second half and started blowing random penalties just to try and even them up in the second half.
And then Kalen Ponga, he knocked that ball backwards without a doubt.
100%.
And then you guys had another 2 sets after that to try and ice the
So
game.
Connor Watson was terrible.
Yes.
He was rubbish. He tried to do. I'm like, you've got Nathan Cleary, Jerome Luai. What's the other bloke's name? Latrell sitting out there,
He was quiet.
and because he's just passing it right. No one's there. Connor Watson was terrible, like really bad.
Just on the fixing, effectively you're calling it match fixing by the refs
Alleged.
adjudicating. There's no way in the world you could say it's match fixing because there's no way in the world they would have let Queensland do 8 in a row. If it was fixed and scripted, there's no way in the world they would have let Queensland win 8 series or 11 from 12.
I'm saying this game. I'm not saying every game.
But even then, right? Like for some of your own staff, members, fans to come out and say
we
you're poorly
blew.
disciplined.
We did deserve the penalties.
There was no call that was like blatant to the point where it was like, oh my god, like he's literally match fixed that.
Yeah.
There
were
were
a
a lot of
couple that we
50-50s.
challenged. There were a couple that we challenged that he got, like the first one he named strip.
The strip, but you can understand why he looked like a strip because the player had been tackled and the ball just pops out. So you're like,
but
you
there
can
was
understand,
no.
But you can understand why he called it like that, right? Like you didn't sit there and go, oh, that's match fixing that he made that call.
I didn't say no. That's Matt Fisher that point because it was the first indiscretion.
So what I tried to do is I tried to put myself in the Blues, like if I was a Blues fan, and I would have probably reacted initially the same way that you guys have been for the last week. But I think that
13 days.
What's that? 13 days. At the end of the day, if you look at the first 2 games, the Blues have been the better side. Like if in terms of the Blues were way better in game 1. In game 2, Queensland were just. I still think Queensland were just the better team. We isolated our moments more than not isolated. We consolidated our opportunities better than what the Blues did. But overall, if you join the 2 games, am I right in saying that the Blues still look like the better team in this Origin series?
Oh, Blues were the better team on paper, for sure.
The overall performance, not just on paper.
I don't think they lived up to the hype. I think that even game 1, the amount of possession that they had and the repeat sets and not to win by more points. Their goal kicking would have put a lot more points on us in game 1 and then won game 2.
So there's two things. Kurt Capewell is just amazing. He's an absolute
Credit to
legend.
him.
Queensland GOAT. Twice he's been called upon because Queensland have been rubbish, and he's come in. Number 2, Cameron Munster has never lost when he shaved the moustache off.
Yeah, well, that's...
Wow, that's a...
So it's come out. I think Rugby League Guru, I think it was, did the stats right back from 2017.
Really?
Mustache he loses.
Yep.
Shaves it off. He wins.
Oh.
Final thing.
Get a message to him. Keep that mustache off.
Final thing I'll say about New South Wales is that it almost looked like in game 2 they had too many Ferraris or too many chefs in the kitchen.
Too many superstars.
I think Connor Watson. I just think it was Connor Watson.
Oh yeah, but you need to have.
He was the one.
But like
you don't, not with Nathan Cleary inside.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, but I'm just saying, like,
give him the ball.
Yeah, someone needs to actually say, like, with Queensland, you know that Munster's the man.
Ferraris. Oh,
Munster's your man. Where it's almost like New South Wales have got all these things going on at the same time, and someone needs to just.
Oh, it looked good when we scored 24 points.
Yeah,
and the Penrith factor was a key consideration too for this game.
Yeah. Anyway,
I think, like, say all this to say that, like, when we preview Game 3 in Sydney and we look at both teams on paper again, it's gonna look like it's gonna be a Blues victory just based off paper.
Yeah. I think Crichton will goal kick.
Yeah, we're going to preview the game live from the stadium.
But there is an
Your shout. Hey.
There is some injury concerns too floating around, so that'll be interesting to keep an eye on too.
Got a bit of water to go under the bridge yet.
Nathan Cleary.
So on that note, let's have a look at some controversies. I think Jed, you got a controversy this week, haven't you?
Yeah, I guess I do.
Little one or a
How
big
about
one?
we just have a little break, a bit of transition?
Okay.
Oh, we'll do a transition.
Yeah.
Controversies, Jed.
Jeddy.
Yes.
What is your controversy? Is it a big one or a little one?
I think it's a little one, but
All right,
it could
well,
be better.
Let's have it then.
My whole thing is about the draw. So on Friday night, on primetime TV, we had, what was it? The Raiders play the Tigers.
That was a good game.
Yes, but what I'm saying is, we just went away from the Origin on a Wednesday night, and then we have, like, the Tigers playing. Like, the team coming second last. Like, I just think we have to be better as a game. Yes, those teams have to get Channel 9 games.
Do you think that they should change it mid-season?
Yes, I do. So what the AFL do is they release a draw, I think, 16 or 17 rounds into the competition, and then they revise the draw. So
they rig it, in other words.
No,
We're big tinfoil
but like,
here.
Oh yeah, where's the tin? Get the tin out.
In the AFL, like, your teams still play each other that round, but then they decide, all right, we're going to put that game on a Friday night, that game on a Saturday night. So I just think that...
So what would you rather? Would you rather Broncos play every Friday night?
Not every Friday night, but I just think that we have to have...
Mix it up a bit.
Better games.
Yeah, we got to have
Well,
Raiders
the
versus
other
Tigers
week,
on the
Melbourne
Thursday
Storm
night.
played someone, and it was like the 6 p.m. game.
Cowboys.
Yeah.
And it was like,
Touched us up.
what is this game doing?
Jay, can I bring a bit of perspective to that? So, do you understand that and I heard this before, that game, the Raiders and Tigers, so when the NRL are planning that, back at the start of the season, they're going, well, it's 2 days after Origin. Who are the teams least likely to have as many Origin players backing up? That's why they would have gone the Raiders and the Tigers, rather than teams that were most likely to have... Because they would have looked at it and they wouldn't have known the Origin teams, obviously, but they're going, okay, well, the Raiders and Tigers are two teams that probably aren't going to have much Origin-affected players, because it's not fair on teams that do have to back up 2 days after Origin. So that is something to take into account why that game was on a Friday night.
And they're thinking, who's going to have the most to put on Sunday? The Sharks. Probably the Sharks have the most Origin players.
And that's interesting.
With all their Kiwi
That is an interesting thought, because you guys haven't had any this year, and in
most
hindsight,
of our guys play for New Zealand, but
in hindsight, you're right. But that is just something to think about. I think that's what the NRL do take into account.
Yeah. So it's not really... So not really a controversy. It's just a bit of a gripe.
Yeah. Yeah, I guess so. Yeah.
Contra gripe.
Yeah, I
Well,
don't
we've
know,
got
it's just-
Volandis on speed dial, don't we?
I'm still
Yeah,
thinking
can
about
you
your
get it?
interchange idea, and I think that's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh, okay.
6
Have
interchanges.
you brought that
I
to
still,
Volandis yet?
No, I haven't. No.
You're going to make the call.
That's a cracker, Jed.
All right, Cal, bring us up yours.
Oh, no, well, I've got a, not a controversy, I've got a big statement.
Okay.
Big prediction.
I know where this is.
You ready for this?
Yeah.
I'm not.
I think you won't guess this, but I think this year the final series will be the one of, if not the best final series we've ever had.
Oh, wow.
Do you want to know why?
Why?
Right now there are 3 teams in the top 4: the Bulldogs, the Raiders, and Warriors. Bulldogs, Raiders, and Warriors who aren't used to being in the top 4. Raiders were a couple of years ago. So were the Warriors. Oh, sorry, Warriors were a couple of years ago.
Correct.
Bulldogs, Raiders, and Warriors, right? They don't know what crunch time looks in terms of prelims and grand finals. Then, if you look at the bottom 8, you've got the Lurkers, the Bronx, the Sharks, the Roosters, and Panthers, who have all recently been top 4 finishers. I think if this stays the top 8 towards the end of the season, there are going to be games. Imagine, you know, the bottom 4 teams versus some of these top 4 teams. Who these bottom 4 teams have been there before, know what it takes to play a prelim, know what it takes to do whatever it takes to win. I think that we could have a real shake-up and real close final series on our hands.
This could be the year
because of the makeup of the ladder.
This could be the year that one of the teams out of the
Outside
top
of the
4.
8. Absolutely
That's
4.
exactly.
Outside the top 4.
And, like, when you look at it, like, the Storms only lost 3 games, but one of them was the Sharks.
4 games. Yeah.
Oh, 4 now.
Yeah.
Oh, the buys.
Yeah.
You know, one of them was the Sharks.
Sharks.
The Broncos, you know, nearly beat the Raiders, was it?
Yep. The
The
Panthers have
other
lost
week.
7 and they're somehow in the 8.
And the Panthers. But I do think, although the Bulldogs haven't been there, they've got enough Panthers players who have.
That might play a part as well. Did you also, like the uncertainty compared to previous years where it was Penrith, Broncos, Melbourne, Roosters,
And
and
apart
Sharks.
from the Dogs, none of those teams you look at
Yeah.
it and go, oh, they're unbeatable.
You could almost, if this was the top 8, you could almost, in finals was next week, you could almost go, I don't know who to tip in some of these games. So that's what I'm looking forward to this year, is a really close final series, and hopefully it all plays out like that. Hopefully, I think the top 4 will pretty much stay as it is: Dogs, Raiders, Storm, and Warriors, and then the bottom 4 of the 8 will kind of. I honestly think that's probably what it's going to look like. The top 8.
Yeah, but yeah, none of those teams, especially in the top 4, they're not convincing me yet. They're not saying, I want to win the premiership.
Dogs.
No, well, they've had some strange losses.
Dogs.
Yeah.
They've only lost 2.
Yeah.
Yeah, but even like,
But their losses have been, like, weird.
Okay.
like they got
But
smashed.
they've been
against-
the most consistent, obviously.
But yeah, looking forward to. I mean, we're ages away from finals, but.
Yeah. Oh, well, there you go.
Too
So, what we might do is just take a quick break and
break,
get on
yep.
to the rounds.
Yep.
You happy with that?
Yep.
So, Jed's non-game of the round, the West Tigers v the Raiders. It was a dud game, but it was actually a great game.
Well, I scored a try.
You scored a try, old
Congrats,
Jetty.
Jetty.
Yep. Yep. Thanks, guys.
That was good. And Tommy Starling scored a try, so good
Yeah.
on him and Tarpany, and they were all in my Supercoach team.
All in the first 25 minutes too.
All in the first 25. I thought I was on a win. The Tigers were coming back. It was good.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad.
Not much really to say about that. It was pretty 50-50.
The air's really coming out of the Tigers' balloon, isn't it? Considering the way that they started the year.
Well, they had,
Yeah.
in this game, they had 54% of possession.
Yeah.
Probably most of that came in that second
Completion
half.
rate was at
Yeah.
68% though for the Tigers compared to 82 for the Raiders.
And when you're a bottom team, you just got to compete at 100. That year, the Cowboys, 2017, went for that run only because they competed at 100.
Look at the dummy pass. 71.
71!
71 dummy passes.
Wow.
To the 8 from the Raiders.
Boy, they've just
That's,
taken the Cowboys.
That's wild. That's like every set. Like every hit up.
So how much pressure is Benji after now? Like
No.
5 losses.
No, he came out today. He said Benji would definitely be our coach next year.
Because you can still see the improvement this year in the Tigers, right?
Yeah.
Well, they're not wooden spooners.
I suppose
Not
they
yet.
had to improve, didn't
Not
they?
Yeah.
They didn't have to, but they did.
They did. Yeah, you're right.
Taylor May, Terrell May,
Terrell.
Terrible.
Yeah.
Terrell
Taylor may be
May,
there next week.
and Taylor maybe there next week. Terrell May has brought a lot to this side.
Yeah.
Look,
And
only 25 missed tackles.
Is that concerning for the
So
Raiders?
46 for the Raiders.
I think when a team comes in the second half and has a license just to throw the ball around,
True.
Yeah.
you know,
And
Dewey's a creative player and Bird is as well, and I think that's not a reflection of the Raiders if they had
Yeah.
to.
and when you come against a lower team, it's hard
Yeah.
to fire up for those.
Interesting, just quickly on the Tigers, Dream Buller's out for a couple of weeks, and Heath Mason will go to fullback, and Finau will play halves, and he's being talked about for the last 12 months at the Tigers and how talented he is. So this might be a blessing in disguise for the Tigers. It'll be interesting.
Because he plays
to see.
hooker, doesn't he?
No, he's a halfback.
No.
He's a
Who's
genuine
that?
halfback.
Who's that young hooker that like?
Just
Talon
Silver.
Yeah, because they're saying that he's a future New South Wales player, but then they've also got Carousel.
Everyone's a future New
Well,
South Wales. No, they've let him go.
they're
He's
letting him
going
go,
to.
yeah.
Oh, okay.
Is it the Knights?
The Cowboys are interested because we still haven't found a replacement for Robson next year. So
Take Kennedy. He'll play there for
I'd
you.
rather watch paint dry.
All right.
Disappointing game of the round.
Depending
For me,
on
I don't
how
think
you
so.
I tipped the
saw it.
Wars, up the Wars,
Oh.
Warriors, Panthers.
I think everyone tipped the Wales, didn't
Full
they?
credit to Penrith going over to New Zealand to play
Yeah.
the second place Warriors with hardly any Origin players capable.
Oh.
They are missing Barnett.
Classic.
Warriors.
No, classic
Origin
ambush.
game.
Classic
Yeah.
ambush.
Well, the Panthers went over there
Moses-
without their Origin stars.
Moses Leota and Sorensen, they just went at it, eh?
I said to
Metcalf
He-
looked like he was injured. Did he get
He
injured?
is, yeah.
He's
He's
been
done
cleared.
he's got a bad cork.
Oh yeah, because he wasn't.
Because he wasn't
hitting
goal
when he was
kicking.
best.
Yeah. That's why they left him on, because it was just a cork. So,
Oh,
it was painful, but couldn't get worse.
I'll say, I said this to Jase earlier, that I think the Panthers aren't back on premiership lane, but I reckon they've turned a corner and are heading into the right suburb in terms of that performance was like, that's old school Panthers.
Yeah.
And these young guys getting a run, and when the big guys come back, they'll be better for it, and you lose the player, it's not going to be as significant.
Does anyone remember what Jed's bet was when he said the
Jed
Panthers were going to miss
is
the eight? What was
banned from betting because he hasn't followed through on the
He's got to do the last one.
It's got to go, Jed. It's got to go.
It's got to
Do
go.
it number one.
Got to go, or you got to give your cat to your neighbour.
Oh, yeah.
So
Well
look
done.
at it. If you can't see neighbour. So go up, scroll up a little bit there. So 33 missed tackles for the Warriors, but 20 ineffective tackles.
Yeah.
39 for Panthers and only one.
I think the big stat we all need to know about, how many dummy passes?
21
21 9.
But yeah, the Warriors, like, year after year, we expect them to, play well at home, and they just disappoint, like...
I think everyone expects their team to play good every year.
Yeah, but, like, the games that you
I
expect them to
definitely
win.
expect my team to play good this year.
They're 5-2. at
Oh,
home.
yeah, I know, but just
And
disappointed. Like,
I think they're going better than what they were last year.
yes, I know, but,
Why
like,
is
They had that
2?
drop off.
They only lost 2.
I'm still not happy.
Okay, all right. Well,
All right, next game.
Andrew
Tell
Webster.
me you're a frustrated Roosters supporter, hey?
Now this game,
Now,
if
what
anything
the
was
heck?
scripted,
What
This was
the heck?
frustrating.
they were
happened here?
trying to give the Dolphins the win so much.
Oh.
The Knights scored a try and he called it forward.
Yeah.
It was not even close to forward.
No.
And I'm like, are you lucky they scored again? Because I'm like, the Knights have genuinely been done.
So this was the Dolphins-Knights game in Perth.
Sorry, yeah.
Dolphins 20, Knights 26. I would say 99% of people probably tipped the Dolphins and
100%.
expected them to put 60 on them, but they didn't.
Well, someone told me, I think it was Callum,
Uh-oh.
on the podcast, that the Knights had the second best defence.
They
Yeah.
do. They did.
So I didn't put my VC on Herbie Farnworth, and I should have.
They
For
still
those super
currently are
coaches out
1,
there.
2. They're third best defence in the comp still.
Yeah. So the
Third,
Knights still have that going
Third.
for them, which is good. They can't settle on a spine, and now Fletcher Sharp has done a kidney.
A kidney, but
A
also...
kidney?
Elbowed his kidney, and he's still in hospital in
Who
West
elbowed his
Australia.
kidney?
Him.
Kidney
He
elbowed
elbowed
his
his own
own?
kidney.
How the heck?
How do you do that?
I don't
He
know.
like-
He
he must have
landed on
landed
it.
on
I don't know how he did it. Because your kidney's at your back, but
Just...
Brutal.
So it wasn't
It
just
was-
that, though. It
he did
was
his spleen too.
ruptured spleen and
Oh.
lacerated kidney from his own elbow.
Oh,
Yeah,
brutal.
And the thing was, he stayed on for a little while
yeah.
as well. He can't leave Perth until
Yeah.
he gets it sorted.
Credit to Knights, they flew his dad and his girlfriend / whatever
Yeah.
over to Perth. So that was a good
Wow,
move.
that's brutal.
But
Yes.
he may not play again this season.
I thought that tackle on Reece on the weekend would have given him a ruptured spleen that he had. You remember that big tackle he had?
Yeah, I remember
Someone,
that.
I forget who tackled him. Someone absolutely wrecked
I
him.
remember that one.
Yeah.
Oh, that was Ronaldo. Yes,
Ronaldo.
Ronaldo.
Yeah,
He can put a shot.
Anyway, we're not talking about that game just yet.
Completion rate 82% each. The all-important dummies. Where's that? 27-19 to the Dolphins. You know what? We should talk about dummy passes in every game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Kudos.
I think so.
Is that going to be?
We need more. We need more of it. Like an effective dummy pass is like one of the best.
There's heaps of
Diversion
goes,
tactics.
and there's just not enough shows. Yeah, well, look at the Tigers. Look how well they did.
71. Anyway,
Yes, Matthew.
They double pumped everything. 40 missed tackles to the Dolphins is alarming,
Yes.
considering
Missed
it's the Knights. Yeah, that's...
errors weren't too
Oh,
bad.
6-2 penalty count. It's scripted. No, that's not good.
Only if it was 6-0 in the first half.
Oh, yes, sorry. Dolphins, they can put 50 on teams. They put 50, 40 and 50 on teams, and then they come out and produce a performance like this. So,
But I think that
They don't
injuries
like-
will catch up with them.
Yeah.
injuries.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair call.
Dolphins don't travel well too, so the fact that they have to travel 6 hours away from Redcliffe,
Yeah, I know. That's a long way for a dolphin.
that's a long way for Dolphins. They'd have to swim
They
all
had to
the
go all
way.
the
Yeah, no,
way around. Yeah, Hey, the actual legit game in the round was the Storm 25 over Rabbits 24. I was going to go to bed quite a few times, and it kept my interest.
Yeah.
This game, it was very entertaining. I did call it on the podcast. I did say, hey, this is going to be closer than most people think. And I think that's closer than even I thought.
I said 30 plus.
Golden point. So, yeah, it was a really good game.
Again, goal kicking let the Rabbits down.
Yeah,
They
Latrell.
scored more tries.
What is it with Blues players and not being able
Well,
to kick goals?
Lomax went and kicked 6 from 6.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, for Parra.
Yeah, couldn't do it for himself.
Yeah.
Interesting. Bellamy's going to be... Sorry, Jed. Bellamy's going to be fuming. A win's a win, right? But the inconsistency... in
Yeah,
Melbourne
Rabbits
this
came
year-
out to play though.
Yeah, fair
They were hungry. They were great. Alex Johnson with 4 tries.
Yep. So how far is he away
I think
now?
he's only got five to go.
5 to
And
be
do you
the
know what?
all-time high
Like
scorer.
Buddy Franklin, the whole... When he kicked the record for the goals,
Yeah.
1,000 goals, whatever it was, the whole stadium ran out into the field.
Yeah.
I think this has to be one of those moments. Because when will this happen again? Like,
Never.
the record stood for 50 odd years now. This
Yeah.
has to be one of those moments where if he scores a try,
Yeah.
they should allow everyone to run on the field.
Yeah, I'll be the first one.
Keep your clothes on. I know what you're thinking.
No. We're a PG program.
I hope it happens in a cracker of a game. I hope it's 80-minute
In the
kick the goal
stadium's packed.
to get to the finals or something.
If the NRL do this right,
Uh,
they could boost attendances for Rabbits games over the next few rounds.
It was pretty split down the middle, 50-50 possession, 84-74% completion rate. Line breaks 4-4, tackle breaks 20-20, play the ball speed.
Was
The
pretty
big
close.
stat that you're going to
Oh,
see
well,
here.
I mean, that's why the Storm.
21 dummy passes to 5
Hey,
in the Rabbits.
you know what?
Not
That's
enough,
what
Rabbits.
that
should
Not
keep
enough.
a record of the correlation between who wins the dummy pass stat and who wins the actual game.
It's 50-50 at the moment. So it doesn't help.
I actually thought that there were 2 moments where the Rabbits were dudded.
2. Yep.
The high tackle that was not penalised.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
That was crazy.
Yeah. And then there was also another one up to when they kicked the field goal of the Storm player walked off the mark by about a metre or so, got the quick play of the ball, and then that put them another 40 metres up the field.
Do you know what I've noticed Melbourne do more than anyone? And it might be because I'm biased and I hate Melbourne and I'm fair for people to say that. But definitely Cameron Munster, I've noticed they're standing there and they do take 2 steps to the right.
Yeah.
And they play the ball there. And I saw him pull him up about 3 times, especially on their goal line.
Yeah.
They move over, they take some steps. So then the markers are over here.
Yeah.
And they can ping the markers for not being straight because they've moved to play the ball.
Melbourne do that a lot, but I have seen other teams do that too. But
Oh,
it's
probably,
normally
yeah.
when one of the tacklers is still
Yeah.
lying on the ground or whatever, but not intentionally.
But yeah, this one was actually like he walked a metre forward to play the ball, and then that gave them the advantage, and then they kicked the field.
Yeah, good.
What I have noticed a fair bit, and New South Wales are really good at this, is once they get tackled and called held, they crawl along the ground for about another metre and a half,
You couldn't get that
and then get up and then take a big step to play the
Yeah.
ball. So they gain about 3 metres from where they've been tackled.
If there's a team that capitalises the most on 1%ers like that, it's the Melbourne Storm. And ever since Cameron Smith was around, they are pros at just capitalising off the 1%ers. And the 1%ers, you keep doing them, getting away with them. That's why the Melbourne Storm are so successful.
Like when Nelson used to play the ball and his foot would be like this far off it, he'd just step over it. Can't
That's
do that
another
anymore.
thing, like, you know, at the start of the season, you had to play the ball with your foot.
You still do.
But now,
Right,
but no one gets
Still
penalised.
pinging guys.
Yeah.
The Cowboys player got pinged in the Cowboys game. He literally played it facing the
Yeah, that was drink water.
Yeah, drinky. Yeah, so they pinged him for it.
Anyway,
He should have gone for HIA.
Biggest letdown of the round. I was getting ready to scream my lungs out and I had to sit down and be quiet because the Sharks absolutely
Stank.
threw this one away.
So Broncos versus Sharks, 34-28, Sunday afternoon, 2 p.m.
We were at the ground. We were there, and can I just say, in the first 30 minutes, these two fellas were actually standing up and celebrating. And then by the end of it, it was just da-da-da-da-da-da.
I mean, how
And Jake
embarrassing is
sitting
that?
there like this.
like there was an old couple in front of us, in front of me, and they're doing the dance. I mean, how embarrassing would you be to tell your grandkids that you did the Broncos dance?
I don't think
love
they
it.
care,
Love
to
it.
be honest. I was doing it. I was like, I'm not even a Broncos fan.
yeah,
Like,
look,
I could get into this.
You're a fully grown adult. Think about your life choices.
At the 45th minute, we had this game in the bag, and
Then that was it.
then we just couldn't do it.
They played some dumb footy.
Oh, Nico.
He played so well in the first half.
That last try,
He
where
didn't really. He
where
didn't.
Reece Walsh broke the line from 50 out. I went home and watched the replay because we were behind one of the try lines. Nico came out and did not even look twice at Reece Walsh. He went straight to the guy outside him, and Reece was just like, "Oh, thank you. I'll go through there." Went through there. They scored. Nico's defence at the moment, even that he tried to milk that.
Oh, yeah, that was
obstruction.
terrible.
I'm like, man, like that's desperate. He's in trouble at the
I was
moment.
hoping he got away with that.
He's in trouble at the moment.
Now, was that not the dumbest sin bin right on half time that you've ever seen?
Do you know, it was so stupid. But secondly,
Are you talking about the sin bin or the player actually doing what he did?
the player doing what he did.
Yeah.
And even to add it further, like he pulled out 80% of the way in. Like he went, and then he went to pull out, and I'm like,
Too
mate,
late by then.
it's too late. You've done it, mate. And old Ezra, dive of the century, I just couldn't believe. But that wasn't our problem. Like, we came out and scored.
Yeah, he scored
The
after
Broncos looked the worst they ever did when we had it banned down.
Yeah.
It was, but credit to
Quite even in the
that
stats.
left side. They ended up, Broncos ended
Oh,
up
well, I
getting
mean,
through there.
24 dummy passes to 17. That's why.
What was the error count for
we
both
put our
teams there,
dummies
Cal?
away.
Eric
Wasn't
count.
too bad.
Where's that again?
Oh, down the bottom.
Because I just thought at times
Yeah.
that
13 in the end. Yeah,
it was a good game, but it wasn't
no,
there was a few
it
errors.
was a great game till the 45th minute.
Yeah.
But like,
Some weak defence
like
by the Sharks.
yes, the Broncos are playing well, but I'll be interested to see how they go up against like
The last this
the
week.
the Warriors, Storm at their best.
Oh, when they go straight down the middle, they're great.
Yeah.
It's when they try and go sideways.
Interesting stat about the Sharks. The last 4 games, they've conceded 32 points on average.
Wow, that's Titan stats.
That's what I was going to compare to. That's the Cowboys at the moment, and that's the Titans at the moment. So you're on par with the Titans and the Cows at the moment, Jace. So,
but you're still in the top 8.
But interestingly, like that is something that Fitzy is known for, his defence. But the last 4 games, you've conceded 32 plus points per game. So thoughts?
Yeah.
Shock.
Nico.
There was a report out there that he might go to lock.
Oh.
How is that going to help?
I don't know.
No, we're not putting him there instead of McInnes.
Yeah, look, I'm just the messenger.
I just think he needs a break.
McInnes's face needs a break. That
Yeah.
dude, like, as soon as he runs on, he's already like got bruises and blood coming out. He hasn't even taken a hit up yet.
Has he been a Sonic lately? Oh.
Alright, next game.
We can go on to
the
last game of
Roosters.
the round.
Absolutely walloped.
The Teddy inspired Roosters, 42 points. Somehow, the Cowboys got 8.
Can I have the floor for a minute or two?
Go.
Okay, go.
As a Cowboys fan,
Buckle in, everyone.
this is heavy days. Okay? Ever since Todd, that first year that Todd took over coaching, we averaged, I think it was 16 points a game in defence, right? For the last 2.5 years, we've been averaging 25 to 30 points a game in defence. He's tried changing defensive coach, and we've leaked 100 points in 2 games. It's beyond a joke, and for a long time, because you're in North Queensland, things just don't get spoken about as much. It's time to shine a light, okay? Shine a stinking light.
Get a floodlight
on the Cows and go, enough. We deserve better as the fans. I don't often go. This is the first time I've ever gone off on my own team about the Cowboys. And you can be rest assured, I'm still wearing a Cows jersey under this. It's just a bit cold here in the shed. I will still turn up every single week. And you ask my wife, I will watch the Cows even if we're getting pumped by 50. But got to do something about this. There needs to be an investigation. In the words of Jeff,
preaching to the choir.
Something has to change. I'm over it. I'm done, and I hope we continue to lose this year. Not as a salty fan, but so that something has to get done about this.
And you've sacked the problems, Val Holmes, Chad. So it's a attitude.
It's attitude
/
absolutely
coaching issue.
It's not just an attitude thing. It has to be a structures thing too, because this has been happening for the last 3 years. And our structure, he's always, we've got a new structure this year. It's not working. Just quietly, I just thought of something. What about Chad Townsend if Nathan Cleary's not fit for game 3?
What the hell? I'd bring him in.
But anyway,
go in.
I'm really disappointed.
Would you sack Todd Payton? If you were in charge.
There's got to be an investigation.
Okay, so he's tried changing stuff. So Dean Young was our defensive coach up until 2 years ago. Yeah. He's gone, and you guys come in from the Warriors. He's done nothing. Todd is on thin ice, in my opinion. And I'm not the guy that just goes sack the coach. I like Todd.
I don't think because he's a bad coach. I think sack him because I think it's run its course.
It's time for change. Something has to change.
Yeah, I know. I was going to say, stop being a politician and working around the answer.
Sack or...
Sack.
It's hard for me to make that call because I don't know the ins and outs of the club. Like, I don't know what else has gone on.
What if you do it and Seabold goes there?
Okay, Jed.
Yeah.
By the end of the season, if we're still in no better shape, sack him. Because I like him as a coach. He is a good coach, but like Jason said, something has to change.
I disagree with sacking coaches halfway through the season because it never works.
Yeah.
I agree.
I would vote for you, though, if you went for PM, though.
Me?
Yeah.
We're in deep trouble. By just some stats, 67% completion rate, Cowboys. Are you kidding?
Yep, but terrible. The Roosters, we are back.
You're playing really good footy.
Yep.
Yeah, you like I said this to you, I think, on Sunday.
Yeah.
Since the start of the year, you've gone on this upward trend.
Yeah.
And Mark, he can't catch a ball for his life.
Can't catch a ball.
Attack is sensational.
What do you do when Sam Walker comes back, though? Because Hugo and Sandon are playing.
I know, I don't get it.
Last time they put Sandon to the bench, and then Cherry Evans is coming.
That's not confirmed. I hope not. If he's confirmed, I'll start supporting.
Titans.
The Pakistan whatever's.
What?
What?
I stopped listening, Jen.
All
I
I
don't
heard was
know
Pakistan.
how we got to Pakistan.
Anyway.
I'm moving it around.
Good on the Roosters. They had a go. They beat the Cowboys.
Lots of dummy passes.
It's a bit like the Broncos cheering.
35 to 30.
That's why you won, Jen.
All right.
Get the dummies
To be
out.
honest, it should have been 50 again. That's what.
So
it
the
should
last
have
game, I have to admit, I didn't watch.
Bludger of a game.
'cause I was in the car.
It was a disappointing game, I can tell
been. Did you watch it, Matt?
you. I did, unfortunately.
Why?
Why, unfortunately, or what I watched?
Yeah, why did you watch it?
I had hope. I had hope that we would win it.
The
but-
Spoon Bowl, Eels without. They're both
Hey,
first choice
you
halves.
completed okay.
Put 36 on the worrying 20 Titans.
What killed it was when they sent JC off for HIA and said it was a Cat 1. So I didn't see the footage of it, but
Apparently
everyone
he
was
showed.
perplexed.
Apparently he showed
Yeah,
signs.
and he's not being named this week, so that kind of confirms it. I've got an issue with stats. It says completion rate, possession 51 to 49 to the Eels, but yet the Titans completed 37 from 45, and the Eels completed 33. How can the
Because
Titans?
it's time in possession, because we would have had quick sets.
No, but how can you have an 82% completion rate if you completed
37. How can you complete?
the
How
math?
can you complete 37 sets, which, by the way, is a full 5 tackle set,
Yeah.
compared to 33?
What was the
But
penalty count? Because if you receive a penalty on tackle 1, that's conceded.
Yeah, fair
considered-
call. That's a good point. There was only 5-1 to the Eels, so the Titans won the penalty count 5-1. So maybe that's what it is, Jed.
Yeah.
You might be onto something there.
Ooh, hey Jed, good.
That's good. Good analysis. Dummy passes 15-11, Matt. That's where you went wrong.
More dummy passes. That's what we need.
What do you think about the Titans? What's doing?
Well, it was... The rumour mill was burning yesterday and today, and the rumour was that Des has put all the coaching staff on notice.
Including himself.
I don't think it's the players. The players are good players. They're good guys. I don't get the feeling like they don't want to be there. Like, you know how sometimes you get a player and you can tell that they don't want to be there. It doesn't seem like the players want to play. They're not getting the right coaching, obviously. There's a disconnect between the weekdays and the weekend. I don't know if they get disheartened when the other team gets up or they get down by points. The Titans can attack. You give them possession and they're going to score points, guaranteed.
True.
It's when they get set after set penalised, which they didn't in this game, funnily enough, but when they have 2 or 3 or 4 sets against them, they just wear out. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what to...
I think Randall at back row is a really interesting choice. I don't think he's been great out there.
I thought he's been good.
He scored a try.
In defence,
We were
I
listening
thought,
on radio
defence.
and on ABC, and they were talking up his
We're
praise.
still
Do
missing
Okay.
a couple of guys.
Alright,
But there was
I'm wrong then.
there was a definite shift when JC went off.
you think it's like the Cows'
And-
attitude problem?
No, I don't think it's attitude. I think it's just direction. And Bo Firma had to be the kicker because we had no other goal kickers in the team.
Ryan
Kelly.
When JC went off. They've named Kelly's on the extended bench for this week, so he's out of favour. His defence has been pretty terrible too. You don't know what's going on with all. Oh, do you want to say something, Jet?
Yeah.
Quick, jump in, quick.
What gave it away?
Kieran Foran
Uh-oh.
He's a legend.
seriously needs to retire. Like, every time he got the ball, you could see the defence were just like, oh, we don't have to worry about him. He's so slow. Like, yes, 10 years ago when he was with Manly, best player in the world. But he's like 35, 36 years old. Like, he's an old man on crutches. Like,
Sorry, how old did you say he was?
he must be like 35, 36, is he?
I'm 35 this year. What are you trying to say?
You're old.
Get in the car?
Oh, actually, yeah. Right now, I'm pretty bad. I have a back injury for those playing at home.
Yeah, he's
Anyway,
taking an injury.
let's move on.
Alright.
Injury.
Yeah, like, just retire, mate.
All right,
Retire, mate.
all right. Let's take a break. and We'll be back in a sec.
All right, the ladder.
No,
Oh,
First game of this week. We're going to do the tips now. We've already done the ladder.
Oh, did we?
Yes.
Oh,
Can you
okay.
remember? First game of the round. This round. Round 17. Panthers versus Bulldogs. Thursday night at Combank.
So, Jed, why is this a Thursday night?
Because,
The minor premiers, the worst place, the worst.
yeah, like this should be on a Friday night. This is a classic example. This game should be on a Friday night,
That's
8 o'clock.
fresh.
Who, like, people have got to work on Fridays.
Who's work? Oh, do
Who's
they?
working?
Not Jerome Luai.
Actually, I go to work at 5 a.m. on Friday.
Yeah, that's
so,
true. Oh.
Brutal.
Put the Sea Eagles
Ed,
West Tigers on
Can
it.
I tell you something funny, Jed?
Yes, go ahead.
Not this week, the week before, the Sharks were playing
Yeah.
on the Thursday night. And I said to my son, I'm like, I'm going to go to bed at halftime. I'm like, I'm tired as, man. He's like, oh, and he got real mad at me because I wouldn't stay up to watch the football. So I felt good about that, but also I was so tired.
Oh, okay, yeah. You have a good sleep, though?
No, I just
Okay,
stay
yeah.
up and watch
Anyway, Panthers versus Dogs. Who's winning?
football. Panthers.
I got the Panthers, yeah.
I got the Dogs.
I think the Panthers could do it, eh? I think the Panthers could do them. I'm going to tip the Dogs, though.
I think the Panthers are going to start flexing.
I'm going to tip
That's
the
the
Bulldogs.
biggest fence sit.
Oh, I love it. All right, Friday night, 6 o'clock. No one's watching this game, but we'll talk about it.
I'll have the radio
Seagulls v the Tigers. Turbo back in the centres. Garrick on the wing.
Yeah,
Lehigh
steam.
Hopewadi at fullback. The West Tigers, someone plays for them. And it should be an absolute pleasure.
Yep.
Tigers.
Not Manly by plenty.
Really?
4 Pines. Manly haven't won a game at 4 Pines this year.
They smashed the Broncos.
They have,
Have they? Oh, I just made that up.
but it
80% of stats are made up.
Turbo's on the outer at the club.
they've
He's been
won
asked to
4
take a
from
pay
3.
cut to get
No,
re-signed.
he's not on. Yeah, I wouldn't say he's on the outer, but
Cherry Evans is on the outer.
I'm going Manly.
Manly by plenty.
Manly.
West Tigers for the upset.
Garrick for
Oh,
a triple
Okay.
double.
Make sure you put these tips into your
Triple
actual
double.
tipping comp, by the way. Knights versus Raiders, Friday night, 8 p.m.
Matt, got to hurry up. Raiders, convincingly.
Yeah.
40, 45.
Raiders.
Raiders by 45.
Jed?
I'll go Newcastle.
Raiders to the win.
Saturday, first game, 3 p.m. Broncos Warriors. At St.
Now, 3 p.m. is a tricky one because the closer it gets to night time, the better the Broncos play.
100% true.
So the second half, like you go back and watch the Sharks game, it wasn't until it started to get a bit overcast. I'm going the Warriors. I can't believe they're not favourites.
Yeah, that's odd.
This will be a good game.
It is 4v5 all of a sudden.
Life choices.
I think the Warriors have to bounce back.
Warriors have to win.
And if
to
the
prove
Broncos-
that they're top 4.
If Broncos play like they did against the Sharks, I think the Warriors might do a number on them.
They play like against the Titans though.
We're going to this one. We'll bring the kids. It'll be interesting.
Oh,
Yep.
good. 3 p.m. Great.
So, I think I'm going to go the Wars.
I think I'll have to tip Broncos.
Wow.
All right, Warriors, Broncos. Jace, what were you?
Yeah, Warriors.
Warriors and Warriors. All right.
Is Moses back?
No.
No, not till round
Is
20.
Brown back?
Yes. So Dragons versus Eels Saturday 5:30.
How
I'm
come the
going
Dragons be... Oh, because
I'm
the
going
Eagles are
to
the worst.
the Dragons.
Just quickly, like, again, how is Kyle Flanagan still in this team? Like, seriously.
Nepotism.
Like,
Called nepotism.
Daddy's looking after him.
Literally nepotism.
Hello.
Anyway, Dragons, I think.
Dragons.
Oh,
Kyle lives to find
I
Moses.
think the Eels might do them.
Oh, I like
Eels.
that. That's bold. Saturday 7:50.
The Eels, even though they played the Titans, the Eels played quite good
Yeah.
against the Titans.
Question: why is
Yes.
it a 7:50 game and not the 7:30 game? It's a 7:50 game on a Saturday night. That's weird. Normally it's a 7:30 game. Dolphins.
Not okay.
Dolphins versus Rabbits at Suncorp Stadium. I'm going to tip.
Was it a double header?
Are you going to stay for that game?
No.
Yes, it
The
is.
Broncos are playing.
Oh, it is too.
Are you going to stay for that game?
No.
Why not?
Why
I've
is
got
it
kids.
7:50? It's not a double header then.
It's
Well,
not technically.
I'll have the kids then.
No, thank you. I'm going to tip the Rabbits in this one.
I am saying rabbits.
Nah, Dolphins. Get your fins up.
I'll go Rabbits.
Get your fins Titans up Sunday, 2 p.m. Match of the round. Wow, the Sharks haven't been playing great, but this is normally a good match. Storm versus Sharks at Amy Park.
Storm.
Ryan Pappenhausen on a Sunday afternoon at Amy Park. The last time he did that, he scored 180 Supercoach points. I don't know if he could do that against the Sharks, and I don't know if Supercoach is relevant for everyone, but for me it is. I'm going to tip the Storm by about 21.
Upset. Cronulla for the upset. Easy upset. Yeah.
I think Cronulla is going to get upset. They're going to get upset because Storm's going to do a number.
I'll tip Storm, but I'll be going for the Sharks.
Somehow, this has been a prime time game. This is
what I'm talking about, people.
The Titans and the Cowboys.
Like,
somehow at Seabus Super Stadium, the Cowboys are favourites after we've just had 100 points put on us.
why?
Titans game.
Sunday
afternoon. In the sun.
It's the
Beautiful day.
I don't know who to tip.
a team coming 17th versus a team coming 12th.
Still footy.
With JC out, I've got to go Cowboys. I think they got too much class. Is Tom Lolo back yet? What's he doing?
He's still not back. He hasn't been named.
Do you know what? Is Tino playing?
Yeah, Tino's
he alright?
My heart wants to tip the Cows, but I'm also angry at them. So I'm kind of like, stuff you Cows. I love you, but I don't know.
Cowboys have got the money. I don't know how.
Titans. Jed.
Titans.
Cowboys.
I'll go Cows because I love them.
Yeah.
All right. Split decision. And the Roosters get another bye.
Another bye.
Another ball.
We had that like 2 weeks
That's
ago.
their sixth bye this year.
And there goes
Oh,
the
yeah.
You guys are going to be too rested now.
I wouldn't mind a rest after this.
Okay.
Well,
All right.
that's it.
Well, that's it. Thank you very much for watching. Please give it a like or a subscribe. Get on there. Share it with your friends. They want to know what you've been listening to. They probably want to know why. Don't tell them that. But yeah, thank you. And have a good life.
See you guys.
Yeah.